Hi everybody, welcome back on another technical demo around the JBoss EAP and micro profile. I am Daniel O. Let's get started. This video showcases how to build the bootable jar with the JBoss EAP micro profile 2.0. This is a new feature of JBoss EAP micro profile 2.0. Let's jump into the demo. So we're going to use the existing Thumbtail application. As you can see, there are a few Java classes already implemented. When you go to POM XML, you can find out the Thumbtail definition in your Maven project. You're going to package this application WAR file as an application artifact, and you can see the Thumbtail version, the 2.7.2, the final, the latest version of Thumbtail application, which allows you build and deploy Jakarta EE or Java EE enterprise application with a small memory footprint and fast way. So here are just a few dependency to use JXRS to explore the RESTful API. Also use the micro profile health specification to monitor your application status like liveness, readiness. Specifically, it's really beneficial to use this capability on top of the Kubernetes cluster like an OpenShift container platform. All right, moving on to take a look at the actual Java application implementation. Here is the RESTful API application. Return output code, the JSON output, and the RESTful API is a greeting. And also you can pass down parameter. Key is a name and a variable, something any keyword, but the default value is a word. So just like hello world application. When you go to application config Java file, you can find the contextual root to access to this RESTful API-API. And then we already implement one of the health check application for liveness status. As you can see, when you access the liveness status endpoint, you can just find out the output with the full bar is a dummy output as JSON format. Okay, move on. Try to run this application using Maven program Thumbtail color run, and then it takes a few seconds to start up, and then packaging WAR file and to run this application with the Thumbtail, and try to access the endpoint 88 slash API slash greeting without parameter, just hello world with the default value. And then when you add a parameter like a Thumbtail API, and then we have got the return JSON file hello, comma, Thumbtail API. Pretty cool. And try to access one more to find out the status of this application for liveness. And go to 8080 slash health dash the slash live, and then you can find the dummy output when you access the status. You can actually specify and implement your actual application liveness. Okay, let's try to migrate this application to bootable jar based on microprofile 2.0 based on JBoss EAP. In order to that, we're gonna change the version based on microprofile 2.0 GA version, and then we needed to add a few properties to use dependency from microprofile and JBoss EAP. So for example, you can see JBoss 7.3.4 version property, and also microprofile BOM variable like a 2.0, and also there are JCube Maven plugin version, because we're going to use JCube tool to packaging and containerize imaging and deploy this application to Kubernetes and a container platform instead using Fabricate, which is deprecated in the previous version. All right, so one of which using operator OpenJDK 11 as a basic image to build this application. So we don't need to use Thumbtail BOM dependency any longer. So that's why we need to add a new dependency management dependency based on JBoss EAP Jakarta EE with some tool dependency, and also JBoss EAP micro profile BOM dependency as well. Okay, let's replace existing Thumbtail dependencies here. First of all, JXRS and microprofile health. Just comment these dependencies and then add a new one from the Jakarta EE microprofile specification. For example, you can find that Jakarta EE Enterprise CDI API for RESTful API implementation and parsing JSON output, and also a micro profile has a specification. And last step, we need to redefine the build and profile to use micro profile XP 2.0. So we just define two different profiles. First of all, global jar, and this is implement based on Galleon packaging feature. You could define multiple Galleon layers like a JXRS server and microphone platform, or a single signer like a decorator, etc. And another profile is for deployment to OpenShift based on JQ. So, this profile will packaging this application and to deploy OpenShift container platform. All right, so try to packaging the application using Bootable-job profile. It takes a few seconds normally, but depends on how many applications you have. Let's go to take a look at the target directory. Now we have a bootable jar here, xp20-demo-2.0 ga-bootable jar. Try to run this application just using Java command line. So java-jar and this bootable jar. As you can see, admin console is not enabled for this bootable jar. All right. To access the endpoint, as the same we did in the thumbnail, we got the same result like a hello world and the API with the parameter name like a bootable jar with the xp2.0, and then we will find out the same result. And then let's try to add another specification for microprofile capability with the hashtag and the config. So in order to add a new data connection hashtag, we need to implement the general hashtag classes. And also we need to inject the configuration capability, one of the microprofile specification using key database.up. And also we needed to access the actual database, but we just use a simulate database access configuration. So, but we, and also this hashtag for readiness because we already live in this hashtag status. So create a new microprofile-config profile file to define database equal true, which will be referred from our application side. Okay, rebuild this application once again and rerun this application. And now go to another terminal and try to access endpoint for hashtag. But this is based on JBoss EAP, even though this is running on Bootable jar. So that's why we need to access the server management port like a 9990 port. All right, it's pretty cool, pretty simple. So next step, we're gonna deploy this application to OpenShift container platform. This is an empty project which doesn't implement any resources in this moment. So I just make sure to log in this project and try to maybe package it once again with different bootable jar OpenShift profile and add the command oc: deploy. This argument allow us to deploy this application to OpenShift using OpenShift Maven plugin. In the meantime, when you go to target directory, you can find that OpenShift manifest already generated automatically under the classes directory and JQ and OpenShift YAML file. And you can also have a separate manifest resource file like a deployment config, while YAML file and service. When you take a look at that OpenShift YAML file, there are already defined multiple resources, for example, service and deployment config, how to deploy this application using JQ with specify container port and container name and specific port like Prometheus 9779 or Jolokia port and just HTTP port as well. And the Redis probably here based on the health and ready the default the endpoint and the route resources to export your application by client. Okay, in the meantime, the OpenShift console, the application already running out. Just try to add a new label. In the meantime, the JBoss, and click on the pod view logs. You can find that the admin console is not enabled, just like we saw in local environment. And you go up the log file, we can find that the bootable jar is running. this application on a Bootable container platform. Try to open URL. You can see GUI, the bootable jar, and just invoked endpoint, just hello world, just like we expected, and try to add a new name like a micro profile uh, 2.0 and invoke in the micro profile 2.0, just hello world. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the day.